Senator Housakos.
How are you, Minister?
Thank you.
You are now the third Minister of Public Safety to hold this portfolio since the Trudeau government began its G5 security review in September 2018. Multiple times since, your government promised Canadians that a decision was coming in regards to banning Huawei from our 5G. We were told that we would get a decision before the 2019 election, then we were told we'd get a decision after the 2019 election. Of course, we're still waiting. The endless delay and indecision from your government has gotten to the point that earlier this month, Huawei actually trolled your government on Twitter, Minister, saying that what's the opposite of being banned? The government of Canada is being openly mocked, Minister, by Huawei, and still we've heard nothing from the government. Minister, when will the NDP Liberal government come to a decision? Yes or no, will we ban Huawei once and for all?
Minister Mendicino.
Well, thank you very much, Senator. And just before I get to the substance of my response, I want to thank you and all of the senators for welcoming me to what is my maiden voyage here in this question period. It is truly an honor and a privilege to be joining you in this chamber. It's an impressive body of work that you contribute to our democracy, and I just want to begin by expressing my gratitude for all of the work and the studies and the interventions that you bring on behalf of Canadians. Senator, you raise an important question around 5G, and you're quite right that the government is committed to rendering a decision on that and issuing a statement as soon as we possibly can. I will say that it is also important that we get this decision right and that we look at the principles and the values that underscore the decision, but equally that we understand the threats as they have evolved to our national security as it relates to any potential challenges that may be presented in the context of 5G, in the context of our cyber infrastructure. But I assure you that we appreciate the urgency that you have expressed in your question, and that as soon as we can communicate a decision, we will do so.
Senator Housakos.
Thank you, Minister. Clearly, you don't appreciate the urgency, Minister, because it's been 3 years and we're still waiting for a clear and unequivocal answer if we're going to ban them or we won't. In December, the Washington Post reported 100 confidential PowerPoint presentations that lay out Huawei's participation in mass surveillance of Chinese people by their communist regime, including the local tracking of political persons of interest. The document also shows how Huawei is involved in human rights violations against the Uyghurs in Xinjiang province through surveillance, cameras, facial recognition. One document even appears to show that Huawei did technology design work on their prisons. Is this not reason enough to ban Huawei, Minister? And if this isn't reason enough, what will it take for your government to ban them? And please, it should not take 3 or 4 more years before we get a final decision.
Minister Mendicino.
Well, I would begin by agreeing with the last sentence in your question, Senator, and we certainly don't anticipate that it would take anything close to that period of time. But I want to assure you that as we undertake a careful review of all of the factors that go into this important decision, that we are not sitting idle, that we are deploying a number of strategies and countermeasures to ensure that any hostile actors, be they state or non-state, are being mitigated and addressed in real time. We've made significant investments into our national security apparatus with the various agencies that report to my portfolio as well as others within government, so that as we leverage the new technologies and the innovations that are important to keep Canadians and others connected through the internet and through cyberspace, that we are doing so in a way that that does recognize that there have been evolutions to the threat landscape, including those which may be perpetrated by hostile state actors. So we're very mindful of the concerns that you have expressed. We do recognize that there is an expectation and an urgency to communicating the decision, and we will do so as quickly as we can.